You guys ready? Let's talk some movies. Whoop. Alright, first film I want to talk about is a horror movie. Until Dawn, released this year, 2025, directed by David F. Sandberg. I gave this one 3 out of 5. Guys, if I give it 3, it's a recommendation. It's a Roger Ebert 2 thumbs up. Rest in peace, Roger Ebert. So this is loosely based off the video game. I highly recommend playing the video game Until Dawn, y'all. It's like an interactive movie, but pretty scary, and you really have to make dialogue choices quickly and on the fly, as honest and earnest as you can, and you can get your partners killed off if you are selfish or you just don't think quick enough, you know what I mean? Peter Stormare, he's in the video game. He appears in this film. Pretty big role there, so it's really cool to see him. He's probably the best character. But guys, I really like the premise in this film. I think that's its strongest point. The characters, acting is not, leaves something to be desired. Nothing stands out for me there, but I think there's some good CGI moments, some good jump scares. I like the way the film looks. Can't say it's like sweeping cinematography, but hey man, solid horror flick right here. You'll be entertained, I think. 3 stars out of 5 for Until Dawn. Film number 2, Blue Steel, released in 1990, directed by Catherine Bigelow, who is a really good action film director. This stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Ron Silver, Clancy Brown, Elizabeth Pena, rest in peace her, she died of alcoholism. 4 stars out of 5, guys. I rate this one pretty high. You know, it's some propaganda, whatever, but man, I'll tell you this, Ron Silver, excellent villain, he steals the movie. Jamie Lee Curtis and Clancy Brown are alright. But man, Ron Silver, this is a villain to remember, guys. Outstanding performance, so good. He really goes off, dude. He goes really insane on the role, and you know, it's like it's kind of like a action thriller. It gets pretty kind of scary at times the way this dude is acting. You know, how he's stalking her, and yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's got that smoky neo-noir feel. If you guys like Strange Days by Catherine Bigelow, 1995, it kind of has that look, you know what I mean? And yeah, 4 stars out of 5 for Blue Steel, y'all. And watch it. Next film, you know, I need a banger. Put on Child's Play, 4.5 stars out of 5. Directed by Tom Holland in 1988, starring Alex Vincent, Brad Dourif, who voices Chucky, Catherine Hicks, and Chris Sarandon as the main cop. But guys, Brad Dourif kills it. Excellent actor, excellent voice actor. He is outstanding, guys. And as a horror movie, maybe not too scary, but this is a great horror movie, man. It's It explains the rules, how the universe works, and this voodoo shtick, how, you know, this doll is like alive and living, and they stick to it. So, you know, some people are like, this is ridiculous, but it's like it shows you right off the bat, the very first sequence, what this movie's about. So I love it. I love that plot and how they handle it. And man, even Brad Dourif, he'll make you laugh as Chucky. So I think it mixes in some humor in there, but outstanding horror movie. 4.5 stars out of 5 for Child's Play. Alright guys, so I don't watch superhero movies, but when the first Spider-Man came out, I was middle school, high school, and it was a big deal. So these are kind of a guilty pleasure. It's got nostalgia. So I don't think these are truly 4.5 stars, but they got in my feels, all right. So let's just talk about the first one, directed by Sam Raimi, released in 2002. I gave it 4.5 stars out of 5. Starring Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe, Kirsten Dunst, James Franco, Rosemary Harris, J.K. Simmons, and Bill Nunn's also in this. And Elizabeth Banks is also in this. So is Bruce Campbell. But yeah, man, Sam Raimi directed The Evil Dead, so he's getting his big chance. I mean, he's had some chances before this, but I'm talking like a big budget, big time movie. And I don't know, it gets in my feels, y'all. I really like his origin story and the fight in the high school, how he's starting to learn his powers. And Willem Dafoe's crazy, man. Like when she smacks his hand when he's about to touch the food with his bare hands, the Thanksgiving food, and she's like and he gives her this look, man. He licks his fingers. Really good performance by Willem Dafoe. He might be the best part, guys. James Franco, I don't like him at all, but you got the iconic kiss from Spider-Man and Kirsten Dunst, and pretty good villain, yeah, but I don't know. And Bruce Campbell is a cameo. He kills it in every cameo, guys. And there's also like some 9/11 propaganda, guys. The very first scene has an American flag in it, and then the very last scene, literally the very first and last thing you see in this film is an American flag. So it's kind of gross. I don't know how Sam Raimi allowed that, but the CIA runs Hollywood. But I'm not trying to sound woke or anything, but just to be aware that it's there, okay? But fun time, Spider-Man. I had fun. And I'll also say this, when I was watching these Spider-Man films, because I watched 1 and 2 back to back, I was pretty hungover. I called out, so I needed something like... It's a little mindless, but it's like heartwarming and fun and whatever. So Spider-Man 2, 5 stars out of 5. So it made me feel good. It was kind of what I needed on a hangover day, guys. This is also directed by Sam Raimi. Has most of the same cast. Brings Alfred Molina into the mix as the villain, Doc Ock. But guys, cinematographer Bill Pope, who shot the Matrix films, at least the first one for sure, and Bound by the Wachowskis. And man, you can tell the cinematography is a little different in this one, man. It looks pretty sweet, gotta say. And I mean, this movie, it gets in my feelings again. I think the action choreography has stepped up a notch. When Doc Ock goes crazy, guys, that was masterful. Sam Raimi. It's a PG-13 movie, but that almost felt like an R-rated scene. Pretty terrifying. And I don't know why like Doc Ock goes crazy. It doesn't really explain that much, but it doesn't matter. It's a comic book villain, man. And he's off robbing banks and doing stuff. And yeah, dude, really enjoy Spider-Man 2. I think everyone does well in this, and Tobey Maguire is pretty good. Probably his best role, best performance. So 5 stars out of 5 with Spider-Man 2. Whoops. So Point Break I watched next. Point Break, another Catherine Bigelow movie, directed by her, 1991. 4 stars out of 5, guys. Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze, Lori Petty, Gary Busey, John C. McGinley. I want to say this is a good adrenaline rush. Who doesn't like a good heist movie, y'all? Pretty good heist movie. And Keanu's pretty solid. He's an action star. That's what he's best at, and I think he's used well here. Patrick Swayze, you want to like him, but shit hits the fan, guys. I'm not going to spoil too much. And Lori Petty's actually pretty good in this. Pretty good actress. Gary Busey has his one-liners in this. So does John C. McGinley. He's always tuned up to like 100%. He's so dialed in and over the top. Really intense guy on and off the screen. I've been told. But I like how they make Swayze, Bodhi, kind of a sympathetic villain. But maybe towards the end you don't feel that way, as you know. But I just like the speech he has is to rally his troops. You really want to like this guy, But the chase sequences are really good. There's some good death scenes. Good Catherine Bigelow knows action, guys. She's one of the best action directors out there, in my opinion. And hey, Anthony Kiedis is also in this. Tom Sizemore is also in this. He was in Point Break in a little role too. Yeah, 4 stars out of 5 for Point Break, y'all. Oh, and also I want to point out that it is a propaganda-ish movie, but Johnny Utah does throw his badge into the ocean at the end. Oh shit, I just kind of spoiled part of it. That's the way you should do it, man. Okay, Spider-Man 3. I had to do the trilogy. I did the first two, and I can't say I saw the third one from beginning to end, y'all. So I was very curious about this one. Same cast for the most part, except Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman is in. Topher Grace is in as Venom. Bryce Dallas Howard as Gwen Stacy's in. And James Cronwell plays the father of Gwen Stacy. Bruce Campbell also. Dylan Baker, he's in this more. I think he pops up in the first and second films, but he gets more screen time here. Guys, this one is more of a mess. Spider-Man 3. There's a ton of studio meddling. Listen to some podcasts, guys. There shouldn't really have been it should have been Sandman or Venom, one of those two, and that's it. Because it makes no sense how they team up in the middle end of the movie. It makes no sense at all. They try and cram in so much crap in this movie, and it's just not that it's too much. They needed to cut this movie down, do one villain instead of those two, and yeah, man. So it's messy. That's all I gotta say. I give it 3.5 out of 5. Still entertaining. And I will say that at the biggest climax of the movie, Spider-Man flies in front of a huge American flag. It's kind of gross. But yeah, man. Directed by Sam Raimi again. So I think he did a pretty good job than what he had. And salute to Bruce Campbell in that one. All right. It's Caught Stealing, released this year in 2025. This is directed by Darren Aronofsky, starring Austin Butler, Regina King, Zoe Kravitz, Liv Schreiber, Vincent D'Onofrio, Griffin Dunn. Hey, Griffin Dunn's in this? That's pretty cool. Bad Bunny's also in this. Guys, Aronofsky, the director, needed a paycheck, it looks like, and that's why he did this movie, because it's nothing new. It's trying to be hip and cool and crime, and there's like a punk rocker. A lot of characters are punk rockers, and it's got some style, but it's pretty standard crime escape guy on the run type of movie. You know what I'm saying? I still gave it 3.5 stars out of 5 because it was very entertaining. I had fun, guys, although it didn't do anything new. There's a gratuitous sex scene with Kravitz and Butler that was really stupid. It was not feeling that at all. It was definitely in there to get 2 hot stars semi-naked on the screen. So that was kind of weak. But hey, man, you've got really interesting villains. You got twists. You got thrilling chases. And you've got a cat that is also plays a key role. So throw this on, guys. If you need like an easy popcorn movie, put Caught Stealing on. 3.5 stars out of 5. I recommend. Alright, last film I want to talk about is a horror submarine war movie, if I said that right. Directed by David Twohy, released in 2002. I gave this 3.5 stars out of 5. I will say, check this out, guys. Darren Aronofsky, he wrote one of the co-writers on this one, and one of the producers. So I just wanted to, connect that with the last movie we talked about. This stars Matthew Davis, Bruce Greenwood, Olivia Williams, who's, man, she's hot in this one. Zach Galifianakis, a baby, a young role. Holt McElhaney, if I said that right. Nick Chinlund, I actually met him where I worked in retail. I took a picture with him. He was pretty nice. A lot of who's who, guys. You watch this, you'll be like, hey, I know who that supporting actor is, that character actor, But guys, like, I grew up watching U-571, that war movie with Matthew McConaughey, Bill Paxton, all the time. It was always on TV, and I'd always throw it on. And this one has that same vibe, but it's a horror movie. So I had to like it, man. And submarine movies are a good little subgenre, you know. It's very interesting how they shoot in a tight space and make it claustrophobic. But I think a horror setting for a submarine is a really good idea. And not too scary, not too like you kind of figure out how the plot's gonna go. But it kept me guessing a little bit, but it wasn't like whoa, you know what I'm saying? But you got a stacked cast and you got some decent horror vibes, some good shots here and there, some decent color palettes. But yeah, man, check out below, man. And 3.5 stars out of 5. So there you go. That was the last week of August, guys. 9 films.